How millionaires spend their money and why they appear broke. Millionaires do not look like millionaires. Most of the time, they look like ordinary people like everyone else on the street. They don't wear designer suits, fancy dresses, or high end shoes. They do not even drive luxury cars. If they have millions of dollars, why not buy high end items, right? You might be amazed to see how millionaires truly spend their money and what proportion of their income goes to each category. If you want to be a millionaire, following a millionaire's spending habits will benefit you in reaching your financial goal. Hello there! This is the Financial Fortune, and in this video, we are going to talk about why millionaires don't look like millionaire and how they actually spend their money. Before we start, don't forget to leave a like, click subscribe if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. Let's get started. The author of Rich Habits, Thomas Corley, studied millionaires over a 5-year period. He took a sample of over 200 millionaires and examined their occupations, character attributes, and financial habits. They all have net liquid assets totaling $3.2 million or more, including cash in their bank accounts and investments like stocks that may be quickly converted to cash. They also earn at least $160,000 in gross annual income. According to Corley, there are typically 4 distinct types of millionaire. First is the big company climber. This is a person who works for a huge company and invests all their time and effort towards furthering their corporate career until they land an executive position with a high income. Second, the virtuoso. They're among the best at what they do, and as a result, they receive a premium salary. It is typically necessary to have formal education, including higher degrees frequently in law or medicine. Third, the dreamer entrepreneur. These people are chasing their dreams of being actors, musicians, authors, or founding their own businesses. Dreamers put in a great effort, love what they do, and are rewarded for it. Due to the fact that they are business owners, they are different from employees in that their earning potential is boundless. Lastly, the saver investor. It makes no difference what their day job is, how much money they make, their credentials, or the chances that are provided to them. These people constantly place a high priority on saving and investing and finding ways in building their wealth. Since they demonstrate that being a millionaire is a possibility for anyone, regardless of occupation, this group of millionaires is the most relatable to the average person. It's typical to see a millionaire as a senior executive at a Fortune 500 firm or as someone who had a life-changing idea and was able to launch a hugely successful business. The majority of millionaires were able to attain the $1 million mark simply by fitting into the saver investor group. You don't have to be brilliant, have a lot of education, or put in unreasonable amounts of labor just to become a part of the saver investor group. Instead of taking significant financial risks, they invest in businesses that have a track record of growth. There are no requirements for being a millionaire saver investor. Regardless of whether they have a high school diploma or are from a low-income background, everyone may start their path to financial success and get on the right track right now. The process of becoming a millionaire is pretty easy if you adopt this frugal mentality and make investing a priority. How do these investors and savers classify their spending in order to be prudent and limit their spending? Housing accounts for no more than 25% of net income. The largest portion of nearly everyone's budget goes toward housing costs. This might be the case because people frequently purchase more homes than they can afford, their rent has increased, they're unwilling to share a home with others, or for other reasons. As a result, maintaining a roof over their heads consumes the majority of their income. Saver investor millionaires hold back when it comes to this expense. Their housing expenses are kept to 25% or less of their monthly take-home pay. When you're happy with a small home or apartment, it can significantly lower your rent or mortgage as well as utilities and other expenses that come with a big place. These people are also prepared to give up their preferred location rather than insist that they live in a desirable area of the city. They understand the value of being frugal when it comes to housing and that making a compromise on something less ideal will be worthwhile. Spending excessively in this area makes aggressive saving and investing practically impossible. Food, home basics, and more account for 15% or less of the net pay. This includes food at home, personal care services, and other minor household necessities that are generally non-negotiable. Cars account for less than 5% of net income. You might be surprised to learn that, after housing, transportation is the second highest expense for the average household. This covers the cost of gas, tolls, insurance, repairs, maintenance, and monthly car payments. Despite the fact that millionaires occasionally drive luxury cars, this does not indicate they spend a significant portion of their wealth on them. Less than 5% of net pay is spent on clothing. Millionaires don't spend outrageous amounts of money on designer labels and jewels when it comes to their wardrobes. Actually, it is quite the opposite. Despite the fact that some millionaires undoubtedly own enormous collections of designer clothing and a wide range of accessories, most of them wear affordable clothing. Vacations make up no more than 5% of net pay. The ordinary middle-class family frequently spends a significant amount of money on annual family vacation, whether it be a tropical cruise or a trip to Disney World during the school holiday. Less than 5% of the net income of a saver investor millionaire is allocated to travel. Despite not depriving themselves of travel or leisure, they do take moderate, affordable vacations that don't leave them with no money left over for subsequent travel or other daily costs. How does this compare to an average or slightly above family that spends $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 on a family vacation? 10% or less than of net salary is allocated to entertainment, which includes pubs and restaurants, takeout, motion pictures, music, books, and streaming services. Although these costs are necessary for a balanced living, the happiness experience is fleeting and not particularly memorable. How can the average person save at least 20% of their income for the future? Let's assume that your annual income is a modest $50,000. Saving 20% of your income works out to about $750 per month. This is a relatively manageable amount if you discover basic techniques to cut traditionally high budget lines and gradually increase income. These millionaires are cautious when it comes to the two expenses that make up the majority of a household's budget because they understand that going overboard in these areas could make it impossible to constantly preserve money. They are willing to make compromises when it comes to location since they are cost-conscious when it comes to housing, which means they don't buy or rent more space than they actually need. They exercise caution when it comes to mobility and avoids wasting money by purchasing more expensive cars than they actually require. Being an effective saver investor means controlling what are often the biggest household expenses. Whatever the classification of each type of millionaire, they all share a set of financial personality traits. They are conscious of their spending habits and normally avoid wasting money. They prioritize quality and understand that being inexpensive does not necessarily equate to saving money. The good news is that most people may easily adopt these spending practices. Think about how the saver investor spends their money and how they classify their income so you can do the same. That's it for today. This is the Financial Fortune, and thank you for watching.